What made you decide to go into religious life, and how long have you been a part of it?
Well, I've been a deacon now, this June will be 4 years. What made me decide, a couple people here at the parish actually planted the seed many years ago. I was getting close to retirement from my job, and I had been involved in the parish for doing different things, and a couple people just flat out asked me, have I ever thought about becoming a deacon? And my first answer was no, and the second answer was, what's a deacon? But after that I started, doing some investigation on my own, just seeing what a deacon is, what the requirements are, and praying about it, and eventually a few years later I applied and I was accepted into formation to become a deacon.
How long was the process?
The actual formation process is 5 years.
Oh, okay.
The praying, discernment, prayer part, is this where God is calling me and all this stuff, that was like another 4 years before that. But once you get accepted into the program, it's 5 years in the Archdiocese of Los Angeles.
At what age did you feel called?
Well, this was, I was close to retirement, so I was probably in my late 40s.
Okay.
Late 40s, early 50s, somewhere around there.
Did you know anyone who left in the middle of the process?
You mean in the middle of the formation process?
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple people that began with us, and after halfway through the first year, they discerned that it wasn't for them. One of them was a married couple. They had a young child, and during formation, it's a lot of work. It's even though we meet every other Saturday, we have a lot of reading to do, a lot of, then we got to write papers, then you have to do ministry in addition to that, and then kind of in addition to that, some more discernment, spiritual direction and so on. So it takes up a lot of your time. Well, what this young couple was finding out, they were missing out on their 5-year-old daughter's activities. So they felt that their vocations as parents was suffering at the time, so they stepped out of the program on their own, and didn't continue the process. But and then there was another single man who, again, halfway through the first year, decided it wasn't for him, and he voluntarily left also.
Was your family supportive when you went into the religious life?
Yes, at the time it was just my wife and I. I have 3 adult kids, they're all grown up. I told them what was going on, why I felt I was being called, and all I really asked for was their prayers. Because they weren't living at home with us anymore, so they weren't really dependent on us, type thing. And I just asked for their prayers, and they said, "Yeah, Dad, we'll pray for you, and if that's where you feel you're being called, we'll keep you in prayer." And the biggest part of that was my wife. She supported me all along. In fact, she had to come with me every time we went to class. And she had to get permission for me to be ordained in the end. So.
What is the most difficult part about being a deacon?
The most difficult part about being a deacon is sometimes you have to say no to people. Because as an ordained person, many people are asking you to do things, whatever it is. Lead this prayer service. Can you come over here and speak to us? Speak to our group. Can you do this? Can you do that? And sometimes I just have to say no to people, because my first, and they tell us this through formation, your first priority is your family. Thank God I don't have to worry about a job no more because I'm retired. But I do still have my family. So before I say yes to anybody, I have to check with my wife to see if it's okay with her, and if I could, be away for whatever it is. So sometimes it involves saying no to somebody if they ask me to do something. Because you want to do as much as you can, but sometimes you just have to say no. So there might be a little bit of disappointment or whatever on the other person's part, but that's what I find the most difficult sometimes.
All right, thank you.
That's it?
Yep, now we have to get a high five from each of us. High five from Vocations.
That was pretty easy.
You like it when it's easy.
Right, high five from Vocations.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.